Ooh, right, preparing to stream webinar. Here we go. I thought it would just appear.
I see it. It says webinar is now streaming live on Facebook. Hi, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. Good evening.
I see it. It says webinar is now streaming live on Facebook.
Okay.
Hi, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. Good evening.
I see it. It says webinar is now streaming live on Facebook.
Okay.
Hi, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. Okay. What's going on? Oh my goodness, what just happened there?
I guess you guys didn't practice that part, huh?
Oh my goodness.
But we're live now, so it's all good.
Right. Anyway, we love technical hitches, don't we? We love a technical hitch, and we just roll with it, Naima.
It's all perfect.
Anyway, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Kirsty with the most beautiful, inspiring woman, Naima Singletary. Welcome, Naima. How are you today?
Thank you so much. I just finished eating some really good sea salt chips, and I feel better.
Amazing. Have you got your water by the side of you so you can have a drink? Aha. I'm going for the pint glass. You're going for the classy glass, wine glass. Right. Let's get on with this. How long do we have of your precious time?
We're going to be here about 30 minutes.
Awesome. Right. So 30 minutes of how women out there can absolutely, women entrepreneurs to be specific, can absolutely step into their power in regards to finances and in regards to money.
Yes.
That's where we are at tonight. So we are going to have 30 minutes of absolute inspiration. I am going to dig deep. I want to find out about Naima's past. I want to know where she was at. How did she make this transformation from where she was to where she is? And what did it take to do that? What was her feelings? What was her fears? That is what we are going to be discussing tonight. And we have a really exciting event to tell you about. So stick around for the 30 minutes, be inspired, get your pens and paper at the ready. That is my advice to you. So Naima, I want to just ask firstly, what are you grateful for?
Bring it. Wonderful. First of all, I'm grateful for being here. And I have a list. I'm so glad you asked this question. I want to encourage folks to share this video. If you're a woman entrepreneur and you really relate to the necessity of women getting into their power with money, if you're a part of the female collective who's sick and tired of being undercharged, who's sick and tired of being paid anywhere from 60 to 80% on the dollar that men get paid, if you're sick and tired of using excuses like I can't afford it to do things that you love to do, if you're sick and tired of, like I used to, lying to your friends that you are busy so you can't go somewhere when the truth is you don't have the money, and you really support this movement around women stepping into the power with money, I ask with so much conviction that you share this right now. So just click the share button on your Facebook page and share this out to your network now.
Yes.
So gratitude, which is what I practice all the time, especially when things are not as happy for me. And it's a good skill for everybody to practice because it's so easy to be grateful when you are in Paris or your money looks fabulous and the sun is out and you feel good and you just had great sex and the children are behaving, and right? It's easy to be grateful, right?
Absolutely.
But what about when money is funny? What about when you got cramps, you don't feel like working, your hair's not working out, you just got into a big fight with your friend, your husband told you you look fat, like what about in those moments, right? If you can be grateful in those moments, your life will change. And I mean this. So the things that I'm grateful for right now is, first of all, being here with you. Like, this is fucking amazing. I'm in my apartment in Paris. You're in the United Kingdom. We're leveraging the internet right now. What? You know,
it's insane, isn't it? It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
And people are watching this all over the world. So everybody can do this. Everybody can do this, okay? So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my sister who's here right now. She just arrived from California yesterday.
Wow.
Oh my God.
When was the last time you saw her?
Huh?
When was the last time you saw her?
December.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
And so I'm delighted about that. I am grateful for where I live in Paris. I live in Paris. I live here in Montmartre, which is in the artist village on the hill. It's in the 18th arrondissement. I'm grateful for taking private French lessons. I'm learning to speak French, and I really could go on and on. There's a lot to be grateful for over in the land of Naima Singletary.
That is awesome.
Thank you for asking.
But it's not always been like this amazing, dream life, has it? Where did it all start, Naima? What was it like growing up in your world? Especially because we're talking, money. How was money in your world when you were younger and growing up?
Yeah. So first of all, I want people to know that I've always been different. So for people who, who just feel like they're very normal and they want to be that way, we probably won't resonate. You probably should disappear right now.
Yeah.
But I have always been different. Like I didn't like the way the world worked when I was a teenager. I always wanted freedom when I was a teenager. I wanted to live life the way I wanted to live it. I didn't like the fact that I had to wait until I was 16 to drive. I didn't like the rules that was put on me around boys and curfews. And it wasn't even about defiance. I just knew at a young age that I wanted my life to be spectacular. And I wanted more than enough money. And I wanted the freedom to roam around planet Earth, to get to know myself and have fun and affect other people. So that's that, first of all. I just want to say that for people who are looking for some compliant, nicely bow-tied history here, okay? So that's that. My experience, my relationship with money, like all people, started when I was a child, because statistics have shown that most of us already have an identity around money and a set of beliefs around money once we reach around the age of 10. Mm-hmm. And so my experience with money from between 5 years old and 10 years old, which I did not uncover, by the way, until I actively started working on my deeper thoughts around money, which is critical. It's necessary if you're going to go from a place of never enough to creating more than enough. And there's an exercise that I'm going to be teaching everybody who comes to the More Than Enough Money event in London, August 8th. But we'll talk more about that later.
About that later, yeah.
So the quick story is, whenever we would go shopping when I was kids, and I would want certain shoes, because I was a big fashion person, I still am. So I'd want certain shoes and clothes. And my mother would always say, right? And all of us, if we think back to the first memories that we have of money with our parents, we'll come up with something. Yeah. My mother would always say, I'm not paying that kind of money for those shoes, but you can have those shoes. So there's the original shoes, and then there's the knockoff shoes, right? Which kids hate, right?
Yeah.
And so she started to do that every time we went shopping. It'd be like, I'm not paying that kind of money for those shoes, but you can get those shoes. Or I'm not paying that kind of money for that dress, but you can get that dress. And so as a kid who doesn't have authority over my thinking yet, right? Because when you're young, you're totally under the jurisdiction of your parents. There's no like conscious choice oftentimes. And so the story that I made up about money is that other people can have what they want, but Naima can't have what she wants.
Because that's what your mom gave you.
That's what my mom gave me. So then when I came into the entrepreneurial space, and it was time for me to buy the house that I wanted, and it was I wanted to travel, like friends were doing certain things, or even like people who were just seemed like they had it all. I'm just like, how are they doing this? And then I'd be pissed off, and I'd be like, I'm smart too, and just really angry. And I kept bumping up against the wall of working hard, networking, doing all the right things, giving my business card, speaking with the smiling face. But the truth is I was going home frustrated that I didn't have the money, but I was faking it, right? Faking success, faking looking good and being happy. Yeah. And so I just got sick and tired of like, why can't I make the money? Why am I working so hard? So what really did it for me is finally getting so pissed off, because I had to move in with my mother because I just got so broke. Like that $7 story is real. And
Wow.
so I was doing all the things that like people were sort of saying in these free webinars and these cheap workshops where they give you some crumbs. And so I was doing these things, but I was not aware of the wealth consciousness part. I was not aware that there was a such thing as a relationship with money. Like nobody teaches about that, like your relationship with money. And so I remember finally, somehow this money coach came into my world and something about her just was like, yes, talk to her. So I signed up for this course that she was offering, and she had us start to dig into our money story and our relationship with money. And that is when it was uncovered about this. Other people can have what they want, how it started. And I was starting to be able to track every time in my life where it showed up. And and I remember crying the first time I did this because it was like a whole world opened up. Because I thought I was doubting, like, can I really do this? And I started to see all the areas where I was playing myself short. And one of the ways that when I noticed it, I said, oh my God, I can't believe it, is I would go into a store, this beautiful store with all this beautiful merchandise. And you know what I would do, Kirsty?
Come on.
I would go straight to the sale rack.
Oh my goodness. Because it's so deeply ingrained in you.
That I can't have, and I can only spend small amount of money. And that was normal for me.
Yeah.
So when I started to consciously work on transforming this money story, which it's non-negotiable, I need people to understand this. You cannot push your way into six figures, multiple six figures. You have to actively, purposefully, focused, determined way, transform that money story day by day. And it's a lifestyle, which is why I tell everybody, come to the More Than Enough Money event in London. It's an introductory. And if you see this whole world open up to you, because you will, we're going to do the work, we're going to go deep, and you start to see what's possible. And you're like, yes, I want to go. I'm ready to transform this at a core and permanent level, not just one good money month or 3 good money months, but for the whole goddamn year. So you can have a fabulous Christmas this year, so you can have fabulous summer travels next year, etc. Come to the More Than Enough Money event and we'll take it from there. So that's just a bit about my story.
That's amazing. And it's so right, just going on the superficial, almost like just, reading a book about money.
Yes.
It's just at a conscious level. All this deep-rooted stuff that we picked up from our childhood, it's unconscious. We don't know about it. And like you say, until you start digging deep, you start seeing, you start recognizing, first of all, the patterns, and then you're finding out where it's come from. So as Tony Robbins says, don't just go to the weed and pull the leaves off, get down to the root and just pull that root out. So that's what you're talking about, within your More Than Enough Money seminar.
Precisely.
Get into the root, yank it out. So how did you turn it all around? So you went to this course and you started finding out about the unconscious patterns, seeing the patterns going. So what was it that sort of said, right, okay, you flipped it on? Consistent effort, I'm guessing.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, that course for me was my first introduction to this whole, oh, Naima, you have a relationship with money and a deep-seated belief around money, which is what all of us have. And I did not take it ultra serious. I thought it was something that was enough. I thought that course was enough. I didn't realize it was a lifestyle practice, which is why I'm so adamant now about letting people know that it's a lifestyle. It's not a weekend seminar or, like you said, a book. It's not that. It's a daily, even today, like I'm choosing something that I want that's the next level. And I have to make sure I'm making a decision for what I want, not where I am, which is a lot to make. So everybody's story is probably not as destitute as mine, but I just really got to a low place. Okay. So I know that not everybody is there, but a part of what helped me, in addition to being in this low place and recognizing that it was just knowing there's like no lower to go, right?
Yeah.
And really being ready. What got me to climbing was getting honest about the way I wanted to serve. So now this is another part of making consistent money, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about offering my services, or for your viewers listening, it's not just about them offering their services. It's about them getting really clear about the thing that they want to offer, the transformation that they want to provide. And I had been on this journey of healing sexual trauma. It was a personal thing, on a journey of healing sexual trauma for, at that time, almost 20 years. And yet it was something I was keeping, you know, just for me. And yet I knew that the sexual liberation of a woman was a big part of the work that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And so before I was able to come public again as an entrepreneur, because I went into this, like, you know, I disappeared from the coaching space because I was just so depressed. Mm-hmm. When I was ready to re-emerge, I had to get really honest about, what do I really stand for? It's like, I cannot come back out here again and half-ass it. I got to be the fullness of myself. I got to tell the truth about what I know. And I got to really bring it unapologetically in public. Mm-hmm. And so, which was so, it took so much. I mean, there was lots of crying. There was lots of, is this the right thing to do? What is my mother going to think? What are people going to think? Like, there was a lot of that going on. Okay. And so it's going to take a lot of courage for those of you who are listening, who know that you're sort of mediocre and you're whitewashed because you're afraid of what other people think, and really coming home to the truth of who you are. And what is the transformation? Like, if you could do one thing for the world before you die, or if you were invited to speak in front of 50,000 people and to deliver one message, what would that message be? Right. And that, when you start to think like that and come home to yourself, then you're able to give a pure answer, a cleaner answer, a more intimate with yourself answer for what you're going to bring to the world, because that's what's part of what's going to bring the big money. Obviously, the wealth consciousness, but that is what's going to make you stand out in this market, this sea of coaches. Aren't we everywhere? Coaches are everywhere. Yeah. So that's why I asked you before we started here, Kirsty, what's your claim to fame? What's your thing? Because that's the thing that's going to bring you a shit ton of money. Like, people have to, like, when you come on, whether you're on camera, whether you're doing an event, people have to look at you and be like, she's in line with her thing, her it thing, you know? Yeah. So that was one of the things that was really pivotal in me making my first $100,000, is one, that getting clear about the thing I wanted to offer. And then two, and this is critical for women, you have to let making money be a priority. You have to say, today, I mean, this month I am making 10,000 pounds. Not I hope, not I want to, not that would be nice, but, and it could be 2,000 pounds, whatever the number is for you. You have to be intentional and say, so for a woman to even claim that is a powerful thing, isn't it, Kirsty?
Absolutely.
To even be like, I'm making 5,000 pounds this month. I'm going to get the help. I'm determined, right? And there's no force. I'm not even talking, because I know a lot of women are trying to force and push. No. This is a holistic way of making money. So you got to come from the inside. Like I said earlier, knowing what you want to bring and your thing that you like stand for fiercely and unapologetically, then getting that financial mind in order. And this is a long-term thing, and being totally unapologetic about, I'm making money and I'm making this amount and this is why, and putting it out there into the world. That's what a woman is.
That's amazing, because, you know, and like you say, getting absolute clarity on what your message is, that for some people, and
not even message, like, that's premature. That's like out there. Before you even start talking about a message, what do you give a shit about? Like, what's the thing that you will fight for? Like, what's the thing that you're like if somebody challenges you on it, right? You'll be like, no, bitch, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if you challenge the average woman on, you know, who she is and what she wants and her identity, and you say, a man is entitled to your body, most women will fight for that. No, he is not entitled to my body. So what is the thing that you will stand up for like that? Because when you get convicted like that, it shows up in how you talk, how you act, how you think. You're able to move through the bad days, you know? It changes the game when you have the thing that you stand for. Because then when you have that, then the message sort of crafts itself.
Oh my goodness, people, can you feel this energy from Naima? I can feel it from over here on this screen. It's incredible. And yeah, just really stepping into that and being unapologetically you, not fake it till you make it when you hear these statements, because people smell it, they feel it. It's got a different energy. And, you know, you can, like, I can feel I'm real about energy. I can feel the energy from you, even on a flat screen. So actually being in the same room with you, you know, that's that's a force that you've got there that you've built over time, worked on it consistently.
Right.
Do you have days where you're not on it?
Oh, all the time. And then I can be not on it now and be totally on it 5 minutes from now. Mm-hmm. Right. And typically when I'm not on it, it's because I have this thing about speed. Right. And when you know who you are, you can get over your shit quick. Okay. Yeah. This is the beauty of really getting intimate with yourself. Like, I have to be patient, like Naima. Okay. Everything is going to manifest. Slow down. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's one thing. Or when I'm like in my head too much, I'm a big thinker, like, stop. You know what I mean? Like, get into your body, breathe, be grateful, like that kind of thing. And then as soon as I do those things, I pop back to it and I'm like, okay, where are we going? That's right. What's the next? Right. And then things start to click again and I'm back in line. So I think when you're in a rookie place of self-awareness, in a rookie place of really being in line with your desires and who you are, you stay down longer. You stay, you know, depressed and sort of like, at the world longer. Then when you get higher level of self-awareness and you're really clear about why you're even doing this and you start to get aligned and telling the truth, then you know how to pop back out of that much more quicker.
You bounce back. Yeah, you bounce back so much quicker. You can get back into, you know, into your route of where you're going.
Yeah.
So what does your family think about where you are now? Are they?
Does my family think about where I am now?
Yeah, with, you know, where you are as a person. Have they seen a huge transformation in you physically, as well as mentally, as well as financially?
Yeah, one of the most awesome things that has happened is that I've been able to give my mother money now. When I used to leech off of her so much, you know, she let me stay at her place rent free. When I was going through I went through 7 months of really deep depression. Mm-hmm. And so she let me stay there. She would pay my cell phone bill because I couldn't even pay a freaking $70 cell phone bill, you know? And so it's gotten to the point now where my mom she'll just send me a text and ask me for $500 or whatever. And I'll just send it to her. Nothing. I'll be like, you don't have to pay me back. Don't worry about it, you know? So there's that. And then I remember when I really started climbing substantially in 2015, and I was in Italy. A whole story about how all that happened. But I remember my sister was in California. It was her birthday, and I flew her, all expenses paid, to Miami for us to meet in Miami to celebrate her birthday. And that experience awakened her. It's one of my most proudest things. So it awakened her. And I remember we were in our hotel. We were on some top floor. And she was sitting on the bed and she was just like, I want to be wealthy. Like, she was inspired, right? So I'm the big sister and it just felt good to do that. And now here she is. So then the following year, I did an all expenses paid trip for her to come to Europe with me. So then we did a week in Saint-Tropez, and then we did 3 weeks in Milan, Italy, because that's where I was living. And so, but now she has increased her own finances. And see, this is how women want to help people, right? We always talk about helping people, but darling, I say this with so much love. You are a fraud if you aren't making money, because the truth is you cannot help anybody until you help yourself. You cannot help anybody. There's no way I could have inspired my sister sleeping on my mother's couch.
No.
There's no way I could have paid for her to come to a trip to Miami poor and out of my power with money. Then there's no way I could have flown her for a month in Europe with me and inspired her to create more financial freedom in her own life. And now she came here yesterday. She's going to be here for 3 weeks and she's paying it all herself.
Power. There's the power, isn't it? She's done it independent. She's done it herself because of,
you want to show your children how to be empowered with money, because your children are watching you. They don't care what you say. They're watching you.
Yeah.
You want to empower your mother. You want to empower your aunt, your clients, even the women on Facebook who you don't even know are watching you, but they are so watching you. And they're going to see you rise and climb. You want to inspire these people? Get more money in your bank account. Help more people. And you help more people by charging what you really want to charge, doing the work that you really want to do, and getting really good about receiving large amounts of money for the value that you bring to people's lives. You got to get good at that. And I'm telling you, your world will change when you come to this More Than Enough Money event in London, August 8th. Can we give them the link to that website now?
Absolutely. Can I give it to now? Oh, hold on a minute. That's a bit technical.
I'll just say it. I know you're going to share it later. So the link is morethanenoughmoneytour.com. It's morethanenoughmoneytour.com. And this is what we're doing this week only. Okay?
Go for it.
By Friday, everyone who buys their ticket by Friday of this week, you're going to have access to a group coaching session with me at the hotel. We're at a beautiful, I think it's a 5-star hotel. We're at a beautiful hotel in London on, I think it's a Tuesday, August 8th.
Tuesday, yeah.
After the event, we're going to do an exclusive private coaching to dig into your business, only for those of you who buy your tickets before this coming Friday. We're going to do a private group session where we're going to look at your business. We're going to look at your goals. Anything we need to break up right then and there, we're going to break it up. Okay. You're already going to have the event itself where a lot is going to shift for you, transform, open up. Then you're going to come into the private space where we're going to get much more personalized on your money goals and what you're going to do when you walk out of that door. Okay. So if you want to have access to this private, it's a group thing, but it's much more intimate, only for the people who are getting their tickets by Friday. You're going to have access to that. Okay. So we're going to be tracking everyone who buys their tickets between today and Friday. So don't worry about how are you guys going to know it's me. We're tracking everybody. So whatever email you register with when you buy your ticket, that's the email we're going to be emailing you to say, hey, you have won, you're in on this private group thing we're going to have, and then you will have access to that. And so we put you on the list. So once the event is over, we allow you behind the curtain to come into this private time together to go exclusively in on your business. And even if you're just beginning or you've been in the game a while, do it. Okay. My clients are making $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month and more working with me privately. So this is an exclusive, rare opportunity. If you're serious about money, do not let this pass you by. Okay. Again, the website is morethanenoughmoneytour.com. This is going to change your life. I guarantee it.
And you being absolutely the model from going from $7 to 6-figure income and showing other people how to bring in 5-figure income.
Yes.
That is, I hate using the word priceless, but that is literally priceless to just
really is.
Your brains have you look at our goals to say,
yes.
Right, what are you doing? How can we do it?
And looking at the drama that's going to get in the way of you even claiming. I'm telling you, because there's so much drama, Kirsty, with so many of us women. And I've been there. This is why I'm so good at navigating that in-between space. Yeah. I've been there. Like so many times I've been like, okay, I want this money. Then I give up because something happens in between, or maybe I'm asking for too much. Then I get scared. And are people going to think I'm greedy? Is that too much? Who's going to buy? Like I've been there, done that. And I know how to navigate all that crap. So if you want to get into every single damn thing that you got going on, the excuse, and transform it, we're going to hit it and knock that shit out at this event.
Oh my goodness. So everybody, I want you commenting below this saying, I'm in. I've got it. I
want to answer any questions right now for anybody who has any questions. So if you want to maybe look on your phone so we don't have that feedback.
Exactly what I'm going to do. See what we're coming up with. While we are waiting, tell me one thing you know for sure.
One thing I know for sure?
One thing you know for sure.
Well, I know many things for sure, but one thing I know for sure is that you can create more than enough money. You can't, I have so many stories. I remember the first time I wanted to make $50,000 in a month. Now, keep in mind, I've never even made $15,000 in a month at this point. I wanted to make $50,000 in a month to blow my mind. And I'd had this goal before, but I always gave up because it was like I said earlier, is this too much? Are people going to think I'm greedy? What am I going to do for that? And I was so sick and tired of giving up on myself, right? So sick and tired of quitting. So I remember I said, this was in February of 2015. I said, I was making money. I was at about $7,000. It was varying between about $4,000 to about $7,000 a month. And sometimes it'd be $4,000, sometimes it'd be around $7,000. And there was no consistency. And I remember I was like, I want to make 50 fucking, I mean, like, it was like, I was ready. Like, I want to do this and really do this without quitting. So I remember about 3 weeks in, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it's like, nothing was happening. It's like, fuck. And I remember the part of me that was so used to giving up was like calling my name, like, who do you think you are? And all the drama was going on, right? So then I was like, then I had to have the talk. So are you going to stop right now? Or are you going to keep going? If you stop, you're going to be stopping again. And like the whole thing was, you're going to be quitting again? Like you're going to be fucking 40 just quitting? Like the whole thing was going, right? So then I was just like, no, you're going to do this. And I had a coach too. It's a game changer because you have the accountability, you got the help, right? And I was like, no, you're going to do this. So I remember I kept going. Then I remember 6 weeks went by and I was like, where is this money? At this point, it wasn't even about quitting. It was like, where is this money? Where? And I was working with clients, but not at the level. Where is this money going to come from? And I remember 2 months went by, 2.5 months went by. And now I'm starting to get pissed off, right? Then I'm like, no, right? And then I'm like, get your emotions in check because I'm aware that when you're in a negative state, you can block so much, right? And this is what I mean by it's such a lifestyle practice. It's such a practice. So then I'm like, it's coming, right? I start working on expectation, which is a big part of manifestation. Like I'm expecting this money. So then I'm like, okay, now where is it? Seriously, where is it? 3 months go by, 3.5 months go by. And the whole time I'm working on it, I'm never giving up. And so everybody takes different amounts of time because it took me that long then 4 months ago. Now I can do $50,000 in 2 weeks. But in order to get to 2 weeks, you got to get through where you are now to get to the next step. But if you keep quitting or you keep telling yourself no, right, it's not going to happen. And this is how I know you can create it. So here we go. I'm working with this client who has started working with me in February of that year when I initially said I want $50,000 in 1 month just to blow my mind. I'm working with this client. We've been working together. Here it is. It's been February now. Here we are in June. She and I are working well together. She's getting amazing results. I'm loving working with her. And our contract is getting ready to come to a close. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, if these results have happened for her in this time, what is going to happen if we continue on, right? So another thing I didn't share is that I'm doing the wealth consciousness work that I teach. I'm doing this the whole time I'm working with her. Even before I'm working with her, I've done it because she had invested $10,000 to work with me, this client. So the whole time I'm continuing to do my wealth consciousness work. I'm not quitting. I just keep like, this is going to be the time now. You got to break through. You got to break through. Like, this is how you got to be as a transformational coach. You got to keep going. So I remember because my mind had expanded so much, I started thinking to myself, if she and I were to work together with no limits that I put on it, like, well, nobody's going to pay for that. So let me price it lower because that just seems like more people would buy that. Like that's the typical scarcity, fear-based thinking. Well, nobody's going to pay that. Like who's going to pay that? Let me just charge $500 because that'll be easier to sell, which is false, by the way. We'll talk more about that at the event. So I said, if there were no limits, how would I work with this woman? And I just wrote it down, no limits. I just let myself just go. And I remember it was a year. It was like one VIP day a quarter. Like I just really let myself go there. If I just really let myself work with her in this way, that she would be unrecognizable to herself and her transformation in a year. So I wrote it all out and I said, okay, if I got honest with these numbers and I didn't try to dumb it down to make myself feel better, what would the price be? And the number that I came up with was $65,000. When I put the price of the VIP days in the year, and I looked at that shit and was like, oh my fucking God. And I felt good about it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
$65,000. So here we go. It's like, Naima, look, that's what it is. Are you going to quit on yourself and take yourself out the game, or are you going to offer this to this woman? So here we are, and like this is like her third to her last coaching call in the package that she's in. And we have her session. And at the end of the session, I say to her, let's say her name is Sarah. I say, Sarah, so as you know, we're getting ready to come to the end of your contract. And I've loved working with you. She's like, yes, Naima, I've loved working with you. We've gotten these amazing results. I said, you know, I would love for us to work together, to continue working together. You know, I've been thinking about this and I created, you know, what it would look like for us to continue to work together. She was like, I was thinking the exact same thing, that we should continue working together. And I'm just like, wow, like the synergy is just there, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I have some details. Would you like to know what that would look like? She's like, yeah, sure. Let's talk about it. So I break it down to her. I said, well, what I see is us working together for an additional year. So we have time and space. We don't have to worry about anything expiring in 90 days or in 6 months. We have plenty of time and space to really sink in. And at this point, I haven't seen her. Like, we've never even met in person before. So I'm like, we could have some VIP time together. So we have some VIP days. We'll meet in Miami. And I'm telling her the different things that we'll do. And I said, so how do you feel about that? She's like, this sounds great. I said, okay, good. So the investment for this will be $65,000. Keep in mind, I've never quoted anything over $10,000. You know, she's like,
scare you to death, like, you know. But
I have been working on this money thing for so long. I was beyond fear. I was over it. Yeah. And this is what you got to do the work, because you, at some point, you're just like, we're going. I'm done. Right?
Yeah.
You know what she said to me when I said, and that investment will be $65,000? Huh?
Did she say, is that all?
She said, okay. She paid $35,000 right then and there on the spot with a credit card and paid the balance the next day. So within 24 hours, I had $65,000 in my bank account. When up until that point, I was waddling back and forth between around $4,000 and $7,000 in my business, like on a consistent level each month. Okay.
Wow.
So when you ask me, what do I know for sure? I know for sure, not because I read some Tony Robbins book and I got inspired, not because I went to some workshop and I read somebody else's story. So if they can do it, I can do it. No, I know it's true and it can be done because I've done it over and over and over again. I have clients who pay me $100,000 for us to work together. So when I'm telling you, you can go from $7 to $100,000 clients, I'm telling you because I've done it. So that's one of the many things that I know for sure. And if you want some of this, morethanenoughmoneytour.com.
Come to the tour. Oh my goodness, Naima. I could talk to you all night. We've run over. And I'm just really, really want to be respectful of your time. Yeah,
I'm so glad to be sharing this. I feel the power. I feel the, so thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. So, so morethanenoughmoneytour.com.
And you're going to put the link with the video.
Put the link with the video so you can watch the video back. You can have a look at the link. And just, what have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Everything to gain. Spend time with people that lift you up. Naima is one of those people. Just from having this conversation with you for half an hour, I feel lifted. I feel empowered. I feel like it's not going to take me forever to get to my life goals because,
I'm not with that. I told you guys earlier, I'm about speed.
Yeah.
So, and not burning yourself out either. Not any of this being a man, masculine stuff. So at the event, we're going to have time and space to really soften into this and get really real, and for us to look in each other's eyes and hear each other's stories. So we'll leave it at that for now. So thank you so much, Kirsty. Thank you.
No, and thank you so much for your time, out in beautiful Paris with your sister. Now it's time to go back to your sister. Go and enjoy those bars and the sunshine in each other's company. And we will see each other on the 8th of August. And I cannot wait. And I'm sure a whole load of other people will be coming. I'm going to be absolutely sharing this with everybody. So, wonderful. Naima, thank you so much for your time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And remember, everybody, get your tickets before Friday if you want to be a part of that private VIP session that's going to happen after the event for us to dig specifically into your business and things you need to do to start creating big money quickly.
I will put all that information on the link below.
Beautiful.
Fabulous.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great evening. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.